As humans, we hold on to some pretty basic beliefs, like the fact that plants don't talk and all living things eventually die. But nature can be mischievous, pulling out bizarre party tricks as if to say, "You are not the hosts here, just guests. Sit back and enjoy my next surprise." Just when we feel comfortable with what we know about the world, along comes a reminder. An oddity that not only makes us pause and marvel, but also sends shivers down our spines. Imagine desert plants harvesting water from the air, fishes that have developed legs for tasting their surroundings, and jellyfish that can hit the undo button on aging. Then there's the vampire squid that can invert itself like I do when I get out of bed on Monday mornings. Desert plants like cacti and agaves are renowned for their ability to conserve water for a long time, using their deep roots, waxy stems, and large leaves as storage vessels. However, scientists have found another plant, the athel tamarisk, that harvests water from the air, using not cups or bottles, but the salt crystals on their leaves. Athel tamarisk, also known as Tamarix aphylla, is a halophyte. That is, it has adapted to living in environments with a high concentration of salinity. After absorbing salty water through the roots, excess water is passed out on the leaves, which leaves the salt in place as the water dries out. In the night, when no one is looking, this plant puts its plans in motion and absorbs water from the atmosphere. According to the researchers, athel tamarisk collected about 15 milligrams of water in only 2 hours. This plant is better at gathering water than I am at gathering my thoughts before coffee. Unlike other desert plants that store up water everywhere they can find, the athel tamarisk plant simply harvests its own from thin air. This genius mechanism ensures the plant never runs out of water. Nature's got plants literally drinking air, while we're out here spending hundreds on water purifiers. This technique, if explored further, could revolutionize how humans harvest water in arid regions. Imagine if we could do the same thing with our sweat. But the fact that plants unlock this level of harvesting before us should be concerning. What other things have these plants been harvesting without our knowledge? And if plants can do this, what's stopping them from eventually harvesting us? What if plants have found ways to consume other living organisms, like the Venus flytrap, but using more discreet methods? We've always attached life to certain basic requirements, like light and air in moderate quantities, but that has proven to not be the case many times. One such environment is the ultra-deep Antarctic lakes, hidden beneath miles of ice. However, scientists have discovered thousands of microbe species occupying this hostile surrounding. Researchers with the Whillans Ice Stream Subglacial Access Research Drilling Wizard team have found around 4,000 species of microorganisms living in Lake Whillans, one of the many bodies of water tucked miles beneath the Antarctic. In 2019, another group of scientists also found microorganisms living in Lake Mercer, another water body under the Antarctic. These microbes are chilling. Literally. What made the discoveries even more remarkable is the fact that these lakes were likely last exposed to sunlight over 1 million years ago, supporting the idea that some life forms do not need any light. Like the introverts of the microbial world, they've been hiding in ice for millions of years, just waiting for humans to ruin everything. If organisms could exist in these hostile surroundings, with extreme darkness, high pressure, and freezing temperatures, surely life on other planets is not far-fetched. In fact, scientists maintain that the diversity of life in these subglacial lakes is a good sign for Jupiter's moon Europa, which has similar conditions. We're over here worrying about alien invasions from space, but they've been chilling right under our noses in Antarctica. Our first science classes taught us that plants are living things that exhibit various characteristics of life, but we all knew communication is not one of their strongest points. But that may be about to change. Scientists have discovered that plants can communicate with other plants and humans via electrical signals. In a research by the Polish National Science Center, plants were organized into a network, allowing plants to develop a process they referred to as network-acquired acclimation, NAA. This process created a link between plants that allowed them to communicate. When a plant is wounded, it sends electrical signals that alert other plants within seconds. So basically, we're one step away from talking trees. Move over, Lord of the Rings. While earlier research already found that plants communicate about the availability of resources through their roots, the exchange of information through electrical signals is a game changer, as it is much faster. Another research involving mushrooms also showed communication among plants using electrical impulses. This time, scientists were able to distinguish the different signals, depicting what looks like words. If we could understand all these signals from plants, it could allow human-plant communication. Farmers can monitor their crops in real time and adjust resources and environmental conditions before they harm the plants. Next thing you know, your tomato plant will be texting you, "Water me, human." There's also the possibility of using plants to monitor what's going on around them and have them report back to us. Maybe houseplants can be the new home security. But what if this has been going on long before we realize it? Imagine if these plants have been communicating behind our backs, sharing little gossip, or even hatching intricate plans against us. We could even be at risk of a vegetable uprising. Who knows? We know what a baby boss looks like. But has anyone thought about a fish boss? Here's an idea: a fish that walks, tasting everything it steps on. The only problem is that's not just an idea, it's already a reality. Lepidopterygla papilio, also known as sea robin, is a special fish with many peculiar characteristics. The body is that of a fish and it lives in water, but it also has wings and modified pectoral fins that look like legs. Predominantly found in Australia, its legs aren't just for bossing around. They contain taste buds and nerves that allow the fish to taste the seabed and discover hidden foods that other fishes weren't aware of. After all, bossing around is hard work, and it needs all the food it can get. If you need confirmation of this fish's boss status, when it was discovered, scientists noticed other fishes closely following, possibly trying to learn how it gets all the extra food and to keep the remnants for themselves. It's as if your feet could taste the floor. Imagine walking into a fast food place and immediately regretting it. Who knew evolution has a taste for the bizarre? The Lepidopterygla papilio isn't the only living thing that can taste with other parts of their bodies. Some insects, like flies, can also taste with their legs, and that's why they walk around on your food before feasting. Most living things have a set lifespan. They live, age, and die, but not the immortal jellyfish, also known as the Turritopsis dohrnii. This deep-sea creature has one of nature's most extraordinary tricks. It can defy death. After reaching sexual maturity, the immortal jellyfish can revert to a young stage and relive its life cycle over and over again through a process called transdifferentiation. When this creature is wounded, stressed, or facing any serious condition that could kill it, it absorbs its tentacles, converting it into a blob that grows back into an adult jellyfish in a day and a half. This jellyfish can literally reverse age, like Benjamin Button on steroids. Meanwhile, I can't even reverse the damage of staying up until 3 a.m. With more scientific advancements, we could learn more about how this creature can reverse its age and apply it to age reversal in humans. But what if it backfires with no way out? Immortality sounds cool, but imagine being stuck in the cycle of high school forever. Terrifying. Now, a look at another creepy creature. The vampire squid. While it's not a bloodthirsty creature as suggested by the name, it's still strange in more ways than one. One of the first things you'll notice when you come across the vampire squid is its unusually large eyes. In fact, they're believed to have the biggest eyes of any living animal in proportion to their body size. The eyes usually appear as blue because they reflect the surrounding color, but they're actually clear. This squid has an eerie appearance that gets even worse when they are in danger. When threatened, the creature will turn itself inside out, exposing the spiky appendages that ward off attackers. Honestly, if I could invert myself to avoid human interaction, I probably would too. However, it's detritivore, feeding on dead organic materials, known as marine snow. It secretes adhesive mucus on its tentacles and spreads them to trap marine snow. The vampire squid sounds terrifying, but instead of drinking blood, it's more like a goth kid at an all-you-can-eat buffet of ocean debris. The vampire, in its name, comes from the blood-red coloration. Nature will continue doing its thing, supporting various forms of plants and organisms. Some of them will align with our long-term beliefs, while others will throw us off balance from time to time. With fascinating plants that can make their water from the air, organisms that can live in the most extreme conditions, and fishes that can walk and reverse aging. We may as well be thrown out of the window pretty soon. Nature's full of surprises, and most of them are just waiting to crawl out from under the ice, invert themselves, or live forever. What a time to be alive! For now, all we can do is do what all other life forms do. Try to adapt and use what we get to our advantage. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Until next time, when we bring you more.